So if my watch is correct, I have right at 4 o'clock. Are you all ready to begin our meeting?
We are. We're going to ask Leo to please reboot. We just added another contract up there for the Department of Defense.
Okay.
And so let him go ahead, but we can move forward, April. We don't have to wait for him.
Okay, great. Well, I think since it is 4 o'clock, we'll go ahead and call our called June 22nd Foothills Board meeting to order. And I believe that, well, I know that Dr. Gibney Sherman has shared the agenda with us and Leo has finalized it. So do we have any other changes?
Actually, it's now been updated, April. I need to add another document and I need to make sure we approve the agenda. And with those 2 changes, we're good to go.
Okay, great. So are all the attached or all the items that you need attached now attached, items 1 through looks like 10 or actually
11.
11 as the adjourn. Okay, very good. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as posted?
So moved.
Thank you, Jennifer. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Beverly. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Very good. The agenda is approved. Item 3 is for public comment. So Dr. Gibney Sherman, did we have anyone call ahead for public comment on our called board meeting?
We did not. Thank you.
All right. With no further need for, we'll go to the next item then. And I will turn it over to you and staff to update us on the following items.
Absolutely. Okay, we have several contracts that we need for FY22, and I'll go through each of those. And our budget, approving our budget, and then looking where we are with our unemployment plan. And I'm going to have Greg report out briefly on that. And because we said we'd let you keep you current as we started rolling out our plan. And we've now initiated some communication and we have a town hall meeting plan. So Greg, if you'll briefly tell them what they've got.
Yes, following last month's governing team meeting, we developed the 2 attachments you see here to effectuate the governing board's desire for the superintendent to provide assistance to employees that are facing this Department of Labor situation. We attempted to comply and fulfill all the expectations of the governing board, as well as to minimize risk and ensure employees are adequately held accountable for the expenditure of public funding. We have tried to address the specific needs of the employees in a way to make sure that any future liability of Foothills is minimized. And we have sent this to staff to begin the communication of this program. We have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow to answer any questions. And then it's a matter of rolling out the process and continuing our reports to you as the governing board.
Thank you, Greg. So April, is there anything else the board would like to know about that?
How many employees have you had to this point? In other words, do you have any idea what the number might look like of individuals who are seeking this?
We do not. We will know more likely next month. We're going to start getting the preliminary data. We want employees to let us know if they're having this issue. We seem to be hearing from a lot of individuals, but then also when we reach out, lots of other individuals have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay.
By next month, we should know.
Well, I appreciate the structure, and I think the outline and the repayment agreement is very, very helpful. So I appreciate that. Did anyone else on the board have any questions or comments?
No, I appreciate all the work here. I know we've asked several questions. We've had a few questions over the last month or so, but thanks for the clarification. Obviously, this is after exhaustion of the appeals process for those potential employees. I think I understood the team right. These are funds that we didn't pay out, and we turned in folks upon request from DOL that did have a change in their hour/pay structure, and this is just reimbursing them if they have to pay it back, should they exhaust the appeal process.
Absolutely correct.
That's exactly right. We stand ready, and we'll just keep reporting back to you each month, because, you know, we met also with Dan Murphy. You know, we've just laid this around as many places as we could, sure that we covered all our bases. And so we'll see what happens, and we'll come right back to you and let you know. But we won't be writing checks this week.
It'll take some time.
It'll take some time.
So Dr. Gibney Sherman, do you want to approve these individual items? We certainly have to approve the budget and the other contracts, or do you feel comfortable with consent agenda on all of these?
I do, very much so.
Okay, so we'll go through all the items if we could proceed with that, and then we'll call for a consent agenda on items 4 through 9 in just a minute.
I totally support that.
Okay, great. Budget.
Okay, we just had our second required budget hearing, and Bonnie was able to give you the details and back up. Are there any other questions with that?
No questions for me. Anybody else on the board?
None.
Great. All right.
Okay, and I'll move to the next. And just a reminder, this is, you know, annually we have to update our contracts. So these are not contracts that typical school districts have, and so it's a little bit different. The first is one that was approved this past week with the Department of Education, and Greg and I attended that meeting, and it was very quiet. It's like a pussycat. It went right on through. And so thank you again to Greg's great work in helping to navigate this, because this was not simple. But this is a template charter contract, and it has everything in there that we expected, and the things we thought would be unclear are still unclear. But it's to our advantage, truthfully. And for you, just knowing for us that we cannot open in this next year any sites that are not in our RESA area. And our RESA area is, of course, Northeast Georgia RESA, and our headquarters is in Clark. And so those two variables right there mean we cannot open or expand to another site unless it's in that area. So that I've already communicated to Henry County, we cannot go to Henry County next year, and I communicated that this week. We are limited to a 3% growth, and that's one of those fuzzy answers there. It's not clear. What does 3% mean? Which is perfectly fine. We are a state chartered special school. That's our new label. We'll go with that. And we now have the same requirements for our board as you have for your board. And so we're no longer under the comprehensive performance framework. We're under the framework that you see in this document. And the other thing to point out here is their annual training is 9 hours a year, which is one more than is required, and we have to have 7 meetings. Right now we have 6 meetings, and our 7th is our budget meeting. So we're well within our range there. And everything in here is what we're accustomed to. One thing that's, it's not real clear in here, but it is clear in the intent. They are permitting us to do a 4th look at our students for academic growth using the same method that we used in our comprehensive performance framework, which is good. So we're going to be purchasing some data from Georgia State University that we're going to use looking at student growth. So that was a real good compromise that Greg was able to work out there. But everything else, and I went through and spent a good bit of time reviewing this, it's ready to go. And so we'll be sending all these around. Bonnie will be sending them for DocuSign signatures, and this will be one of them. The second one, the next contract is looking at our, and by the way, we're called a system collaborative. And that's what we're calling that, our system collaborative charter contract. Is our intergovernmental agreement that we've had in the past. And Greg last year consolidated this, so it makes it very nice and neat. And there's really nothing different in here outside of, because we're not adding any systems. So this will be one that will come around to you as a DocuSign for superintendents and their board sign. And then the next contract is our one from the Department of Corrections. And Jennifer can attest, we spent a lot of time on this one, a lot of time. So Bonnie and Greg and I met with them about once a month for the last 4 or 5 months. And at the end of the day, it's basically the same as what we've got now. We've added goals in there that are more realistic to our setting. And if we're able to serve the kids, then we can get them graduated. And so that's basically what's in there. And so Jennifer, I think we finished this up earlier, last week.
Friday,
Or was it this week?
it was Friday.
Oh, Friday of last week. And so we worked with Jay, who's the commissioner. He's like the Buster Evans. And we worked through all this and we all made peace on this last week. So thank you, Jennifer. And then our next contract that we just posted up there, April, is with the Department of Defense. And it's our work with the Youth Challenge Program. And we agree we just need to continue as we are. We had a very successful year with the Youth Challenge Program. Our new model that we started has gone great. And they're happy, we're happy. And so the recommendation is that we just continue as we are. And Greg got to talk to their manager of these documents, and they're just gonna send something that was saying that we're gonna just continue.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh, that's it.
And so Sherry just needs to sign that letter, right? Rick?
Yep.
Okay, good. I'll
And
send
so
to you.
that makes it simple, but it's in the terms that's in that contract. And what Greg did is just literally change the dates.
Mhm.
And then.
That continues to be a virtual delivery model.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's golden. And what's nice is that they get to meet the kids in person when they go down to when they orient the kids and get to know them, sign them up. And so they have that personal touch. And then they go away and there's a classroom manager who sees about them every day in the classroom. And then we come back to them at the end to kind of debrief them or to invite them to stay with us if they're within 5 credit hours of graduating. And that has been what we feel really good about what we want to do. And the last item, April, are the meeting dates for next year, which I guess you don't care about right now, but the rest of you. But I want to point out that I had to change one date in September to September the 27th, which is Monday, because I will be out of town on the 28th. But all the others follow the same pattern as we did this year, and we line up to the Northeast Georgia RESA Border Control meeting dates. And we have our training dates. So those are all the items, April, and I think if we entertain any questions, and I think that could be a consent approval if the board so desires.
All right. Do any of our board members have any questions about items 4 through 9?
I do not.
Dr. Franklin and Ms. Urban, are you good?
No questions, ma'am.
All right, good. So do we have a motion to approve and through a consent agenda items 4 through 9?
So moved.
All right, in a second. Thank you, Dr. In a second.
I'll second the motion.
All right, thank you, Dr. Franklin. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Right, very good. Well, you all have clearly done a lot of additional preparation between our last meeting, which doesn't seem that long ago, and now. So thank you for being very prepared and sharing this with us, and especially for that extra work on the unemployment. That's a challenging debacle from a national perspective, and all the way down to our back doors. So thank you for that. But if there are no other comments or questions, I suppose we could stand adjourned. If you have any other items?
We'll need somebody to make that recommendation, but April, if I could take one privilege here.
Sure.
Thank you one more time for all that you've done for Foothills over the course of time, and you're always a Foothills friend. And so we will just appreciate more than you'll ever know how much you've been how much we appreciate you staying with us, helping us on Foothills, and to continue to be our support all along the way. And
Absolutely. It's been more my privilege than anything. We're leaving Foothills in a very good place under great leadership. And I just appreciate the opportunity to join you. And I have to say that I treasure that gift that will stay in a special place in my home forever. It means a lot. I'm grateful for that as well. So hope everyone has a wonderful summer. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. And while I'm at it, ditto what Dr. Kibney Sherman said. Dr. Howard, thank you for your service to this organization. You've made it much stronger with your leadership over the last several years. So thank you for that.
My goodness, thank you very much, Dr. Franklin. Stand on the shoulders of giants. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Jennifer. I hope everyone has a wonderful summer, and we'll see one another at our next Board of Control meeting. Y'all keep doing the great work and look forward to partnering with you as we go forward.
Thanks everyone for the great work. Have a great day.
Thank y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.